Hey, we got a creep in here.
Hey, get out of here. Jamar,
Okay, bye.
get out. Hey guys, so I've got a guest here, Orange LOL. Why don't you introduce yourself?
Hey everyone, my name's Orange. I have a YouTube channel. For those of you who don't know about me, well, a lot of people know me for my TOA and TOA Hard videos, and I do like a progressional series weekly where I just kind of keep track of everything I did that week progression-wise. So I'm coming up on a year here played, so that's kind of what I do. If you guys want to check me out, feel free. I'm here with Reafi, and we're gonna do a video for you guys. So
Yeah, we're
we
gonna
have
be
two experts on the game.
yeah, Orange is probably like the most free to play it gets for the YouTube and streaming community. I'm gonna just put that out there right now. She's like a little bit under a year into the game. She's already cleared ToA hard mode for people that are like super like into the whole ToA thing. So there's like a lot of questions that I keep getting about Trial of Ascension, and one of the main ones is just has to do with like progression wise, like when they should start ToA hard mode. Uh, and so Orange actually had a few things on like progression as well. So when exactly would you recommend a person to like start going into like ToA normal, or by when do you think that they should be clearing ToA normal?
The way that I chose to progress was very, like, I'm all about efficiency and progressing pretty much as fast as possible. And since I'm free to play, I chose to do TOA normal and hard basically as soon as possible. And the flow of progression is pretty natural in Summoner's War. Like, you can do those dungeons as long as you're farming your runes properly. So for TOA normal, I completed that after I had finished my GB10 team. So I was farming Giants for a while, DB8 a little bit to get some violent sets for my Vero and Bella, and then I started to progress in TOA normal because I needed those crystals on floor 80. I think they give you 300, then they give you like 100 somewhere else, and then you get like crystals on every 5 floors or whatever. So I needed those because the main thing in Summoner's War is farming runes. That's pretty much up there with the monsters that you pull. And, you know, to pull nat 5s, this kind of gets into TOA hard though. So I was just saying for TOA normal, I did that after Giants B10. And then I kind of, like everyone says go to Giants B10 first, right? And build your Giants team. That's like the first thing you should do, pretty much. So then after I completed TOA normal, I worked on my Dragons B10 team. Then after that was all figured out, that's when I got into TOA hard. And same thing applies. I wanted to do TOA hard because I knew it was possible. I was like searching around and a lot of people use farmable and like easy to obtain units. So I kept those units and started building them. And then I kind of found out that I could do TOA hard. I needed those crystals to keep farming runes to progress me along, and then also get the legendary scrolls because I think that's like the most reliable way to get nat 5s, and I'm assuming I'm going to need more nat 5s at some point. So I have both TOA normal and hard pretty much on farm mode at this point.
Yeah,
And yeah, that's the story.
that brings up a really good point too. Do you remember which scrolls you got Veligil and Ratesh from? And Lagmaron?
Yeah, Veligil was my first TOA normal clear legendary scroll. Lagmaron, I think he was a random mystical, pretty sure. And then Ratesh was the intermediate pack that I bought. Like, I knew you said I'm free to play. Like, I keep track of all the money I spend because I'm really
Well,
big about, like, the whole...
the most
Yes.
free to play.
Yeah. So, yeah, Ratesh was the legendary scroll from the intermediate packs that I bought because those were, like, really, really
Yeah,
worth it.
yeah, definitely.
So two out of those three were legendary scrolls.
And I always encourage all players to even if you're like free to play, it's always best to drop at least a few bucks onto the game, because with the way that this game works is if you actually do get your account stolen, the easiest and the fastest way to get your account back, actually I think it's the only way, is if you have proof of purchase on your account with either a credit card, debit card, or I think PayPal or Google accounts work as well. But if you do drop money onto the game and it's within like a year of the purchase and you can prove that it is on your account, then they'll give you your account back. So I always encourage people to at least drop a little bit of money onto the game just to kind of safeguard their account. But that brought up a great point with TOA, and it's like a lot of people don't do TOA normal and TOA hard because they think it's so tedious. But the fact is, a lot of the Nat 5s that you might get end up being from Trial of Ascension. Like I know myself, I've gotten Praha, Poseidon, Sekhmet, Ganymede for the Nat 5s from Trial of Ascension, either from normal or hard mode. And a lot of people think that the Trial of Ascension is like kind of like end game material, but it's really not. You're seeing a lot of Fighter 3, Conquer 1 level players that are actually now able to start getting really high up in Trial of Ascension hard mode, and by the time they're up in Conquer 1, Conquer 2, they're already clearing Trial of Ascension hard mode. Like what would you say is your highest rank, Orange? Or what would you say your rank was by the time you were clearing Trial of Ascension hard mode?
I think C2.
Okay.
Like C1, C2.
Right.
It just depends on the week, but yeah, I had gotten C2 at that point, but like the Nat 5s kind of helped, and I had like Lagmaron, so I pulled a Galleon, and I was like kind of using that speed team. Then I also used my bruiser teams.
Right. What team did you use to first clear it?
ToA Hard?
Yeah.
So for the most part, my main team that clears the majority of the floors is Beretta, Vero, Bella, Mav, Arya, and then I have like a list of other monsters that I bring in situationally. So all these monsters that I'm going to list in a second I have used to clear ToA hard, but like I said, that farmable fusible team that I just mentioned clears the majority of floors. So these other monsters that I'll list that I've used situationally, I watched YouTube videos, went on Reddit, and I kind of picked up on all these monsters' names, and I heard that they were good in ToA hard. So the other monsters I used were Verd, Hua, Briand, Therain, what else is there? Spectra, and I can't remember. That might be it.
Chasun, a little bit?
Yeah, Chasun. Yeah, Chasun, so that's 6.
Do you ever use Shannon? Or have you ever used Shannon in TOA?
Oh, I did, yeah. I used her for TOA. So for TOA normal, I used her, like, pretty much for the whole TOA normal. And then for TOA hard, I used her on that Zyrosa Chroma level.
Ah, yes. Yeah. For the defense buff.
Because I don't have Basalt or Talc build, but I heard Talc's, like, kind of bad, though.
Yeah, I don't like Talc too much. I almost built him, but I ended up voting against that, and I'm really glad I did. And I mean, I've cleared ToA hard many times, and I don't have Basalt either. But I can tell you now that it's definitely a big changer when you do get Basalt, because there's a lot of stages that it feels like you really do need a defense buff when you like can't avoid taking damage. I think another point here was, were you farming DB10? You were farming DB10 when you cleared ToA normal, right?
No, I cleared ToA normal before I even built my DB10 team.
Okay, so so I talked to, for the people that are watching this, I talked to Dude from the CompTOS stream, and he was talking about the Farmer Phil series. He was talking about the Farmer Phil series, and we for some reason we started getting into the whole like Trial of Ascension and stuff like that, and like the whole challenge for Farmer Phil. And I was kind of starting to think like, okay, what kind of teams should I be building for Trial of Ascension for Farmer Phil? And the exact teams that Orange LOL actually mentioned was actually the team I was already planning to build. Apart from Mav, because Mav tends to be more for Trial of Ascension hard mode. So in that case, Bernard would. Oh shit! Why is your Bernard pretty fast? You've got like the Bernard speed of like a Conqueror 3 player.
Yeah, your Bernard sucks. For ToA normal though, I did use Beretta, Vero, Bella, Shannon, Bernard for like the whole thing, and then Sig on Lyrith.
There was a big point that I was trying to make. It was that I'm actually already up into like the 60s for Farmer Phil, and it's like a level 32, or no, I think it's level 36 now. I might revive that series just because Gary was, or Dude was actually like whole, like he wanted to keep going and stuff like that. But yeah, I think a lot of players tend to like get all of their Kairos dungeon teams built up before they actually clear Trial of Ascension. But Trial of Ascension is like a huge part of the game because that's where you get your main source of scrolls. And so when you get a lot of scrolls, that's when you start summoning your monsters. So there's people that are like, oh, I'm 2 years into the game and I don't have a natural 5-star. Well, you'd be getting your natural 5 stars at least within a few months if you were doing Trial of Ascension normal mode. And then you have a better chance once you start doing hard mode, which is why it's so crucial to have those two under your belt where you can just clear it every month consistently. So the teams that she actually listed are super easy to obtain. Like Thrain, maybe not so much. Arya was a Hall of Heroes, so you guys are like tuning in much, much later than, you know, when this Hall of Hero came out. Veramos, Fusible. Mav is a 3-star, easy to get. Shannon, farmable. Vertihil and Hua, not so much, but they are 4 stars, so they're not that hard to get in comparison to like 5 stars and stuff. Spectra, farmable. Beretta, Fusible, like a lot of these units are like super easy to get. So you can actually like clear Trial of Ascension hard mode probably sometime past, like probably like a few months after you've already gotten your DB10 team situated and everything like that.
Also, for anyone else wondering how I got like all my 4 stars or whatever, I saved summoning stones for 5 months and I was buying them from the guild shop because that just made sense to me. It seemed like the best decision instead of going for like guild flags or ifrits for the guild shop to buy the rainbow mon up until whenever you don't need it anymore. So I only recently stopped buying that rainbow mon from the guild shop and I just bought summoning stones and that's how I got all my nat 4s because it's just easy to narrow it down and get all those nat 4s that are focused towards progression. So I think every single one of those I got from stone summons.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. A lot of players make this huge mistake and they think like, oh, I just want to summon these stones right as I get them. The best thing to do is actually save up your stones if you don't have a natural 4-star. Once you save them up, you wait until they're in rotation for one of those weeks and then you summon for them. And that's how you get them. So you save up a few thousand at least, and then once they come into rotation, like for example, we have Chisoon coming in 12 days. So you ignore the Nat 5s. Nat 5s are just extra for the stone rotations. But we have Chisoon here, and then you have Akia for fusion, if you don't already have the fusion. So you just kind of look at these and you think, okay, what Nat 4 do I want? Boom, you save up stones, go for it in stones, summons, and then that's how you get it. So that's why it's a lot easier to get Nat 4s now than it was before, which is like a huge part to building your ToA team. Yeah, it's really not too difficult to clear ToA hard. I mean, Orange cleared it, I think, around 6 or 7 months into the game, right? Am I off a little bit?
I think it was 7.
7 months into the game. That's impressive. I mean, it took me, I think, over a year.
Oh, it was actually 8.
8 months? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of screwed around for like my first year of playing, but yeah. So I think Orange is on the right track here. If you guys want to check her out, I'm gonna leave a link to her YouTube channel. She does YouTube videos too. She's got a lot of helpful content, especially for people that want to go up and coming and getting better and start transitioning into like mid-level. So she'll definitely help you with that. If you guys want to check her out, make sure you guys click the link. I think that pretty much covers all of it for ToA.
Right now we're saying ToA and ToA Hard's not that hard, but for me, like when I first did both of the ToA normal and hard, they were pretty difficult for me. Like I'm not gonna say like they're easy, but then once you do them more, you'll kind of understand all of the levels and like the mechanics, and then you'll look back and be like, okay, I got this. Like right now I feel pretty confident in my ToA hard clears. So the first times aren't that easy, but I'm really determined, and I was like, I need to beat these because I need the crystals and the scrolls and stuff.
Yeah, and it does have a lot of strategy to it. I've had people email me like begging for me to clear the like ToA Hard 100 or ToA Normal 100, and like they swear up and down that they can't clear it, that they don't have the runes or monsters, and I go in first try, and there's certain teams that you can use based on like the rune quality and stuff like that, and just boom, done. So it's a lot of it has to do with strategizing on your team too. So keep that in mind. Don't give up if you're struggling on a stage, because most likely, more likely than not, you guys can do it. You guys just need to find the team for it. So a lot of it is just conditioning yourself to like recognizing what to bring.
And you have to like know what the enemies do too, which
Yeah.
isn't that hard. You can like look it up.
Well, yeah, that about does it. Thanks for joining in. I appreciate it. And if you guys have any questions, just leave it down below, and I'll make sure to answer them. And I'm sure Orange LOL will be willing to answer them on our channel as well. So I will see you guys later.